You're 16, standing outside a kebab shop in Tirana, holding a paper bag that isn't yours. Inside, 400,000 leki, about $3,800, folded tight with a rubber band that leaves a groove in the bills. You don't count it. You were told not to count it. You walk 6 blocks. You hand it to a man with a gold tooth who doesn't look at you when he takes it. That's the job. Carry things, phones, packages wrapped in electrical tape you know better than to ask about. 200 euros a week, cash, more than your uncle makes at the factory after 30 years. The neighborhood starts to notice, not loudly, a nod, a table that's always free when you walk in. You sleep with your phone face up. Every night, miss a call, and you spend 3 days wondering if that was the one that mattered. You tell yourself it's temporary. That's what every single one of them said at the beginning. You're 18. Side street in Dures. 2 a.m. the cold off the Adriatic cuts right through your jacket. One prepaid Nokia, one number saved. Your job, memorize the patrol rotation. Local police swing past every 22 minutes. When it drops to 14, you send a single dot, just a period. And somewhere 2 streets over, everything stops. 400 euros a month. New sneakers. Your mother thinks you work construction outside the city. One night, a man you've never met buys you coffee after a close call. He doesn't explain why, he pays and leaves. That coffee costs him €1.50. It buys your next 2 years. You don't know his full name, but when he nods at you on the street, you feel it in your chest like a bell struck once. That's the hook. That's how they keep you. You're 20. Bus from Shkodër to Podgorica. False bottom duffel between your feet. Your real name on the boarding pass. Because that's the point. You're supposed to look like a student visiting cousins. 2.4 kilograms under the seat, vacuum sealed. Wrapped in coffee grounds, the border dog is 15 meters away on a leash. Your heart is doing something that isn't a normal heartbeat. 1,500 euros per run. 11 runs in 7 months. You fixed your mother's bathroom, bought a BMW, then sold it because someone told you it draws attention. Bledar was 24. He trained you. He didn't come back from Thessaloniki. Nobody explained why. Nobody was asked to. You do run 10 6 days later. That's when you understand. You're not running for the money anymore. You're running because you don't know how to stop. You're 23. Rented apartment in Milan. Cigarette smoke permanently in the walls. A whiteboard in the kitchen with names and numbers you erase every 72 hours. 7 men under you. You know 4 of them well. The other 3 you chose not to know too well. You've learned the difference. Tirana to Milan, split to Turin, secondary line into Lyon. Monthly throughput, 180,000 euros. Your cut, 6,000 euros. When you walk into a room, the room adjusts. Your sister graduated university in June. You were in a meeting you couldn't leave. Her name pulsed on your screen for 23 seconds. You watched it. You let it stop. You called back 4 hours later. She sounded different. Not angry, just different. Like something closed, you tell yourself. Next time. Until there isn't. You're 26. Glass office in Tirana. Suit. Business cards. An espresso machine that costs more than your first car. Your title, financial consultant. What you actually do, make dirty money disappear into clean money. Shell companies in Cyprus. Real estate in Montenegro. Import invoices with numbers that don't match the goods. 600,000 euros a month. Your cut, 12,000 euros. You see the full map now in a way the runners never will. Not just the streets. The architecture, who owns what, who owes whom. You also see the deposits you're not supposed to ask about. From the transit apartments in Vlore, you process them, you clean them. You don't think about what they came from. You tell yourself, that's not my department. That's what. You're 29, business class to Dubai. The German executive next to you talks for 40 minutes about regulatory compliance. You nod. You ask intelligent questions. You have learned how to be anyone in any room. 4 countries, 43 people under your authority. Monthly revenue, 2.2 million euros. A real construction company in Pristina. 11 actual employees who don't know what they're employed by. Your girlfriend is a nurse. She thinks you're in logistics. She is kind and completely real, and every single day with her is a performance. Then Genti gets arrested in Turin. Europol, your second in command, the man who spotted the undercover in Podgorica. The man who has your mother's phone number saved, he knows 3 of your properties, 2 Cyprus accounts. Your real name, he does 14 months. Says nothing. You give him 80,000 euros and an embrace when he walks out. Then you're 33. You own the restaurant you're sitting in, through 3 layers of legal entity. The steak cost 85 euros. You can't taste it, you stopped tasting food about 2 years ago. Benelux. Germany, a Moroccan network in Amsterdam that tripled northern throughput. Annual revenue under your command, 34 million euros. Your cut, 1.8 million euros, 4 phones. One of them you're afraid to look at. That one means something went wrong. 2 Europol analysts have your photograph. A source inside tells you he costs 7,000 euros a month. Best money you've ever spent. You haven't spoken to your father in 4 years. Not because of a fight. You decided to make him unreachable to the people who study your pressure points. His ignorance protects him. You understand this with a clarity that makes it hurt worse, not less. The cage has no bars you can see. That's the whole design. You're 38, different city every 2 nights, Vienna, Saranda, Skopje. Staying still is how men like you get found. You don't touch product, you don't touch money. Only face-to-face meetings, only rooms swept for electronics in the past 24 hours. If arrested today, the legal case would take 6 years to build. 9 countries, 140 million euros a year. It doesn't run on you anymore. It runs on momentum. You're the nerve center, the name at the middle of everything. The men around you are afraid of you. You used to think that was power. You now understand it's the opposite. Fear distorts everything. Everyone tells you what you want to hear. The one moment you need the truth, it arrives too late. Dressed as loyalty. Your son is 6 years old. You've held him 11 times. 11 times in 6 years. You tell yourself, when this is over, I'll be there, but you've been here long enough to know this doesn't end. You're 44. No ceremony, no title spoken aloud. The previous man is gone, and you are what fills the space. Decisions you make appear 3 months later as events in cities you've never visited. A route opens. A politician in Tirana changes his vote on port security. A rival cell in Rotterdam stops being a problem. You are responsible for all of it, documentably connected to none of it. 6 countries have open files with your name. Interpol lists you as a person of interest. It hasn't touched you. Lawyers in 4 jurisdictions, a political relationship 11 years in the making. But there's always a list. Men below you running the same math you ran on the way up. The same cold decision to stop trusting loyalty over data. You were the most dangerous man in every room you ever walked into. Now you walk in and wonder which one of them it will be. There is no appeal. You're 47. Tuesday morning, Vienna, hotel on Ringstrasse, booked under a name that's worked for 6 years. Eggs, coffee, a newspaper you aren't reading. Then 12 men in the lobby, 4 at the service entrance, 2 already on the floor above you. The number, 6:14 a.m., the exact moment you realize the man who swept this hotel last night was the one who gave them the room number. Fiznik, your oldest friend, 31 years. The godfather of your son. You don't run. There's nowhere left to run. You've known this day existed the way everyone knows they'll die. Abstract, unreal. Until it is the only thing that's real. 24 years. Italian maximum security. You'll serve at least 19. Your son is 8 years old. In your cell, light comes through a small window every morning and hits the same spot on the wall. You watch it move. You think about Fiznik, about your sister's graduation, about the steak in Antwerp you couldn't taste. You think about what you'd tell a kid standing outside a shop with a bag that isn't his. But you can't go back, and he wouldn't listen anyway. Somewhere in Tirana, on a side street, a boy who just turned 16 is holding a paper bag. He doesn't count the money. He was told not to count it. He walks 6 blocks. The corner never changes. Only the faces do.